Welcome to the Forexia weekly overview. Today is June 23rd. Markets just closed about 5 hours ago. Today, basically, we're going to be discussing the trades that we took over the week and why we took them and what we're planning to do in the future when it comes to our positioning on these trades. So, the first trade we're going to be looking at is GBP USD. I took GBP USD as a buy at around 1.26 area, and this is because I'm also making this video because a lot of people have asked me personally, what are you using to analyze? How do you analyze? How important are indicators, averages? How important is, knowing or having these tools on your chart? And this is kind of distracting from what's really the main focus. And the main focus is the structure. I want you guys to focus 100% on market structure and how the dealer is using market structure and how he is setting up this market and where he is tapping for liquidity, where the liquidity may be. So, this is why you see my chart with no indicators, no special tools whatsoever, because I didn't use any special tools when taking this trade. I looked at the daily time frame because this, in my opinion, is going to be a very profitable long-term trade. Looking at the daily time frame, we see at the time, price was right here, right around here. So, I had placed buy limit orders in this area. And why is that? Because we can see this is a liquidity zone. The dealer has spiked in this zone before for liquidity. So obviously it's somewhat expected that he will do it again. And what do we see here? We see that massive spike into that zone. If we go into the 15-minute chart, what else do we see? Well, we can see what happened in this zone. We can see what happened in the zone was a wedge formation that consolidated in this zone, and the second, or I should say the breakout of this wedge created the second leg of the reversal W formation, the reversal pattern in this zone, in this liquidity zone. So, I had sent a buy limit order at the exact low of the previous day. I had set a limit order right here for you guys. What happened? What could we have expected? What was I expecting? Well, I saw this spike to the low. The low was created here in this liquidity zone that we see, this big, we could see it on the daily that we drew out. And then we saw the end of the day and the beginning connect in consolidation. Then I was expecting a spike to the low to trigger our pending orders. I had gone to sleep already because I was super tired and I didn't feel like babysitting the trade because I was confident in this trade setup. You get to a point where you become so confident in your setups that you can sleep on them. You can sleep on them, you don't care. Okay? And this is just, it's one of the perks of being able to judge where the market is going to go. You don't have to stress about it because once you see the dealer is in one of these zones fishing for liquidity, you can see this trap happen right here on a higher time frame, on a 1 hour time frame, or a 1 hour time frame. You can see the low happen, this little blue line. The low happened here, right? And then you can see on a 1 hour time frame, there is that railroad track below that low, that spike to the low, triggering any sell orders of any retail traders that are trading breakouts, that have their breakout orders set below the low here. So, what can we expect to happen after that trap has been made? A quick move out of that zone after trapping liquidity. So we can see that trap here on a micro. This is a micro trap. And then on that macro, the daily, we can see that trap as well. You can see that double tap to that liquidity zone. And we entered at that exact spike, that little tiny spike to the low. It's right around here. We entered in this area. We had a crazy entry. And this was all done in our sleep. Well, I was sleeping at the time. Forex doesn't have to be this hard, you guys. And a lot of people see Forex as this monster. This trade went into 10 pips drawdown. It was at the exact low, that blue line, we had our order. It went into about 12.9 pips drawdown. And then shot up +140 pips. We ended the week with 116 pips floating profit right now. We're expecting the high to be breached. We have our take profits in this area above the high here because I'm expecting a continuation of this uptrend. So that was one trade. GBP NZD, the same thing happened. Same structure. Here's the daily. We can see GBP NZD also was in one of these zones of liquidity. See how tight this zone is? But yet you can clearly see these spikes into this zone. The dealer's just fishing for liquidity in here. Once again, right in here. There's groups that glorify 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 5 risk-reward ratios when there are trades that go into hundreds and hundreds of pips of profit with 10, 20 pip stop losses. There are trades that are 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 50 pip risk reward ratios. Euro CHF had a, I believe it was a 1 to 127 pip reward risk reward ratio, and you can go see it on my TradingView. My TradingView ideas, I have it posted. So these areas are these trades are not difficult to take. They're not difficult to find if you know what you're doing. And there are groups that will claim that they know what they're doing, yet they're trading, they're scalping 1 to 1 risk reward ratio, 1 to 2 risk reward ratios. They don't even believe 1 to 10 ratios exist. All right, they don't even see it. They don't even believe it exists. Yet it happens all the time. There's hundreds of pip moves that you can take if you know how to straddle yourself in the market correctly. All right, GBP NZD. The same thing, right? What was the next one? Euro CHF. We'll talk about this one. Well, first of all, we can see this. We're on the daily chart. We can see this massive move, or this massive gap, I should say. This massive gap right below price. The dealer is going to want to target that gap because there is liquidity in that gap. There's a lot of orders in this gap that have not been filled yet. And the longer that the dealer keeps this gap open, the more people that are going to notice it and set their orders in here. So we are expecting a downtrend into this gap, and then whatever happens, happens. We ever take profit at around here. I believe it was a 200 plus pip take profit. And I had like a 3 pip stop loss. I believe I sent the trade out with a a 20 pip stop loss for you guys. I'm not sure. The pro members know. But we caught it right here. Okay, let's go on the 15-minute chart. We can see this large trap move happen. I had set my pending orders at the previous high up here with a stop loss right there. So this was a 3.5, 3.2 pip stop loss, and the trade is now, well, it was in 75 pips profit. It is now in 59 pips profit. But that's possible, you guys. These moves are possible, okay? We're targeting 200 pips. We're targeting the filling of that gap. So I want to, really show you guys the facts here. Show you guys what's possible in this market, and hopefully you guys can stop playing around with, risk-reward ratios that barely cover your spread. So we entered, I sent a signal to sell at 1.0905. The pro members sold here, instant profit, there was like 8 red bars until the next green one. Instant profit for 3 days. What happens? The trend comes back up looking for liquidity. The dealer comes back up fishing for liquidity, and what does he find? He taps into a zone here. And I drew this out for the pro members. The dealer tapped, oh my gosh, I'm sorry you guys, I'm using like a trackpad and it's totally not functioning right now. My fingers are sweaty or something. Okay, so the dealer comes against the trend and then spikes into this area. What did we do? We had our pending orders in this area. We sold here again. This happened London session. We can see that large consolidation period, spike up, London session, and then come back down. So in total, we had 70 pips of profit in our first position, and then about 35 to 40 pips of profit in our second position. And we're still continuing to look to position ourselves more throughout the period of this trade. So Euro CHF, GBP, NZD, NZD USD. Okay. NZD USD, we are selling. Looking at the daily, we can see this trap of liquidity here. These trap zones, one on top of the other, because there's liquidity trapped at these highs. There's now liquidity in here as well that is being trapped. And I do believe that next week we will see the NZD USD come down quite a bit. We have that consolidation period right here, and then we have that spike to the high. We can see the small head and shoulders pattern forming. Looks like a peak into that trap zone, and then a continuation of the falling action that we can see here. So gold, I did not call this move, but it was the same scenario. You can see on the daily chart, it was in that liquidity zone. You can see that star formation in that zone. We talk about that star formation quite a bit. We'll touch up on it in our pro education, which should be out in the coming weeks. We're working on the trademark for it right now. We don't have a specific date right now that it will be released, but just know that we're adding more information every day, and it will be a mind-blowing tool that you can use to your advantage when trading the market. So the daily, we can see this trap zone, this liquidity zone here. There's one up here too. We could also say there is one down here or here. But we can definitely see that trap right in here. And looking at the 15-minute, this zone there was that low that was created on the 15-minute chart, and then the dealer did not break that low. He spiked the low, trapping traders here and then here. I saw this spike to the low happen, and then I bought about in there, and I'm currently still holding in about 131 pips profit. So these are the possibilities, you guys. I had about a 15-20 pip stop loss on gold here, and it was not even in any drawdown. Instantly shifted into profit. I bought somewhere around here, instant shift into profit, and then 3 days of, or I should say about 2.5 days of rise. So these are the possibilities, you guys. These are the possibilities with these trades. And you know, this was just an overview of the week we had this week. We've had better weeks, obviously, but we did catch a few hundred pips this week. I'm really excited about next week. I hope you guys are too. Here are some of the profits we had, just to show you that we're not lying. Here's Euro CHF. You can see the 1 hour chart. Like I said, we sold at the tip here and also right here. You can see that right there and right there. Gold on the 1 hour chart. You can see, wasn't joking about that either. Stop loss and profit, 130 plus pips. Riding out right now. GBP USD. Look at that entry, you guys. You know, these are the possibilities. I'm just trying to show you. Open your mind a little bit. There's something more to this market. Something that you haven't been taught. Something that you won't be taught by mainstream groups, by mainstream people. Mainstream media isn't going to be talking about this. Investing.com isn't going to be sharing this information with you. So thank you guys for joining us on this journey. Just another day of trading, another week beginning next week. Hope you guys join us next week. If you have not checked out our channel, check out ForexCommunity.Online to link with us, or check out ForexAlerts.Online to connect to our Telegram, where we send news and signals as well. Thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful day. Peace out.